go for a finish now, and collect some points.
Stage 4, the longest of the day at 25.5 kilometers in length, twisting and turning with wide, smooth and fast roads. A twisty and tight uphill downhill mountain pass littered with suspension torturing jumps. This stage had something of everything. The Damso Keen yo-yo continued, with Damso again winning the stage, beating Keen by 8 seconds to take the overall lead by 6. The aging but ultra-competitive previous-shaped Toyota Corolla dominates Class N2. Natalians Costa Komantarakis and Barry White beat the NPS Corolla of Aggie Stroh and Jurg Stein by 3 seconds, eking out a 4-second gap to the double-class winner. Stroh was to suffer no less than 5 punctures along the way. Young Etienne de Tour and Patrick Vermaak were having a frustrating rally as their McCarthy Toyota Corolla had a gearbox problem, but they soldiered on nevertheless. Mike Nathan and Graham Hooper had a wake-up call.
This morning we fell asleep a bit in the first stage here, and the guys sort of gave us a hiding. And we've been fighting back ever since. It's a really nice stage, the first time I've ever driven up here. I spectated up here once before. And in the last stage we took 27 seconds back, and we're now leading by 22, so we're going well now. The guys are really flying, they're pushing very hard. At one stage it was 3 seconds between the top 3 cars in our class. And it's touch and go, just one break too early and then you're back to 3rd place again.
The top 7 crews were holding station. Visser du Plessis and Mark Pym the only newcomers into the top 8.
We've got a misfire, and it's like, it's hampering our confidence in the tight stuff, and especially the quick stuff as well, where it hesitates for 2-3 seconds before it takes its full power. And sometimes you don't have 2 or 3 seconds to play with. So.
Stage 5, Richard Madden presented 13 kilometers of fast forest sweeps on dry gravel roads with enough loose rocks and roller coaster blind rises to keep everyone alert. A5, the smallest modified class, saw Gugu Zulu and Llewellyn Fourie winning the stage in their BP Volkswagen Chico from Dolf Coetzee and Irma de Plooy's Toyota Taz. Coetzee now held a 31-second lead. Michael Houghton and Bryn Doherty dominated in the last 2 events and were running a very conservative rally in their Motorola Toyota Taz, 50 seconds behind Coetzee. Etienne Malherbe and Henny Boertes were holding down second in Class A5 in their Crosley car-hire Toyota Taz, intent on finishing the event after retirement on the last round. The hugely popular Top Car World Rally Championship bid 2006 BMW had fans cheering wherever it went, the tail-wagging driving style of Cliff Blackman establishing it as a firm favourite. They were running well. After a well-deserved 50-minute break in Sabi, it was time to tackle the traditional 860-metre-long Stage 6 through the streets of Sabi. As preparations to close the streets were underway and safety measures put into place, spectators streamed into town for the Sasol Turbo Fuel Sabi Town Twister. As darkness fell, the atmosphere was electric. Ever mindful that contact with the curb can spell instant retirement, the drivers sought the fine balance between putting on a show and not losing too much time. In a display of brute power, Johnny Gemmel and Marty Olivier set the fastest time of 1 minute 19 seconds, which was equalled by John and Doug Williams. Nicholas Ryan and Skalk van Heerden powered their Bozel Subaru Impreza around just 2 seconds slower than Gemmel and Williams. Visser du Plessis and Mark Pym equalled Ryan's time in their similar Metmeister Sasol Delight Subaru. Craig Trott was the quickest Class A6 runner, but was matched by Jaco Venter, both in Toyota Corollas. Bem and Sinclair and their Mitsubishi were excluded soon after this stage for a safety infringement. In the race for overall positions, all 3 S2000 cars set an identical time of 1 minute and 20 seconds, leaving Damso at the head of the field with 1 stage to run to wrap up the first day's action. Join us after the break for more Sasol Rally thrills. Stage 7, White River Super Spa presented 1.13 kilometers of fast tar road through the heart of White River. Thousands of spectators lined the streets to watch Enzo Keen take the win from Johnny Gemmell and Serge Damso. After 85 kilometers of hard rallying in trying conditions, Damso and Paisley held a 1-second advantage over Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson. Jan Habig and Douglas Judd were a further 30 seconds back in third overall. Johnny Gemmell and Marty Olivier continued to dominate the production car and Class N4 battle over a minute ahead of Jaapie van Niekerk and Greg Godridge. With Fecken way ahead in A7, Craig Trott was piling on the pressure to catch the Class A6 leader Jaco Venter and Armand de Tooy. Rodney Versage had snatched a 4-second lead from Chris de Wit to head up the Class N3 runners, with Mike Nathan leading in Class N2. Dolf Coetzee continued to run away with Class 5 as the teams headed for the overnight stop in Nelspruit. An innovation at the 05 Sasol Rally was that the top 5 runners overall after day 1 were allowed to nominate their road order for day 2.
Yeah, it's a bit close, a bit tight, but we'll see. It's all day today, so.
A stressful morning. It's not a good one. I think there's not much in it between me and Serge, and we'll both be pushing hard today. And I'm enjoying it. That's what rallying's about.
But then we'll do the time. So we go left there. After our misfire, you know, we lost quite a bit of time, so it was difficult to try and run at the same pace without taking serious risks. And you know, we're trying to protect our points as well. But now we've got the misfire fixed, and you know, I think we'll give it 101% here and there and see how it goes.
Day 2 of the Sasol Rally 2005, and Mpumalanga was finally living up to its name. Clear skies and bright sunshine greeted the 52 remaining crews. Yet more in-your-face entertainment awaited Mpumalanga Rally fans. The Subaru Super Special 1.43 kilometers through the heart of the provincial capital pitted equally matched cars in a head-to-head contest around a mirror image course. Sit back and watch the action. Serge had the bit between his teeth as he threaded his Castrol Runnix around the narrow confines. Smooth and fast, he set a time 2 seconds quicker than arch-rival Enzo Keen to triple his overnight lead. Jaapie van Niekerk was matched against the top Subaru runner, Kali van der Merwe and Christoph Sneyders in their Sunbake Subaru Impreza GT. Van der Merwe was destined to retire in the following stage with gearbox problems. This half-spin didn't harm Van Niekerk's charge at all, beating Van der Merwe by 1 second. Johnny Gemmell was more than a minute ahead of Jaapie van Niekerk in the race for Class N4 and production car honours. Here, Gemmell set a scorching time 3 seconds faster than Enzo Keen and 4 faster than Van Niekerk. Asked Enzo whether there was a risk for spectators who get an eyeful up close.
It is risky. I hope they realize it. And, you know, I see people bulging into the road here, touching the barrier, and I hope they realize that if the car goes out of control, it takes about 400 meters to come to a standstill.
Something happens to the car or somebody makes a mistake, they'll just slip off the road into the crowd, which is quite scary.
And just to confirm that, just watch how close some of these cars get to injuring spectators. Look, Dad, this is something Uncle Serge taught me. After a quick 10-minute service in Nelspruit so that the technicians could set the cars up for the gravel stages, it was back to the forests for stage 9. Witklip Dam, the stunning setting for 12.35 kilometers of action in the Komati land plantations. As the early morning sun filtered through the trees, throngs of fans arrived to watch the intense battle between Damso and Keen. Damso certainly had the bit between his teeth. The Wiley champion is famous for his day 2 charges, and so it proved, for he added another 4 seconds to his lead. Keane, trying hard, narrowly avoids contact with those concrete blocks which would spell retirement if contact had been made. Keane dropped 8 seconds to Serge and was beaten by Habich, running well after fixing that misfire. Nicholas Ryan was finding his rhythm again, picking up the pace considerably as the young Brackband driver was still coming to terms with his high-speed role on the Toyota Rally from last month. Jaco Venter was under enormous pressure from Craig Trott, the veteran team total driver, slashing Venter's lead to just 3 seconds. Trott and Costa are the current Class A6 champions, and Trott's driving style is smooth and very quick. Italian Steve Walken, no relation to the Toyota Works driver Charles, is another young talent making a name for himself, but is perennially underfunded and running outdated equipment. Here he is running 21st overall and 3rd in his class. As the drivers settled into a hard day's dusty rallying, Chris de Wit was back in front of Rodney Versaghi for N3 honours by a full second, no less. The other class positions remained static for the moment, and Nathan and Hooper pulled further ahead of Stowe as the NPS Corolla had yet another flat wheel, and Dorf Coetzee remained well ahead in A5.
Look, the leader of yesterday had the first option on the starting position for today, so Serge chose to start 5th, which will give him a traction advantage in the loose stages. Now, the first stage was a very sandy stage around a dam, and it was clear because he took about a second per kilometre out of us there. We're just getting into it this morning. Need a bit of a cappuccino before I can wake up.
We're running good times at the moment, and you know, it's absolutely new for me to be right in front and to break where I see it, and it suits me. I like it, and I like it very much. It looks like the times are getting better as well.
There were ongoing problems for Claudio Piazzamuso and Janine Labuschagne. The gearbox mounting broke on day 1 and it took some time to repair. And it broke again on day 2.
Gearbox mounting broke, so we can't accelerate hard because it torques the engine and it kicks back the whole time, and we can't jump hard either. So we're just taking it easy. We're like a mobile billboard at the moment.
The Sasol Runix is 27th overall and 4th in class after 9 stages. Young Stephen Wilken was another to suffer from multiple punctures, arriving back in service with 2 flat rear tyres, showing how rough and rocky some sections of the stages are. Craig Trott was quite relaxed in service.
We've beaten Jaco Venter on all 3 stages this morning. We've taken approximately 25 seconds off him, and he had another minute lateness penalty this morning, so we're probably half a minute ahead of him now, but it's not time to give up yet. Yeah, a puncture could catch us later on in the event, but we are ahead at the moment.
Back to the action in stage 10.